Here is how I went from fat to fit, or what I consider fit. It's all different. Everything is subjective in this current climate, right? But as somebody that was once 302 pounds at my highest to where I am now, about 193, 194. According to my Hume body pod and the band that I use, I'm about 10% body fat. I know that's not true. Don't come for me in the comments. I think I'm about 12. But here's how. And then my level of expertise, I am a certified personal trainer. I am a certified nutritional coach. I have both of those for 13 years now. And also on the corporate side, on the HR side, I'm a certified, you know, corporate wellness specialist and program coordinators, meaning for an organization, I can create, just wellness plans. I am non-practicing. I got these because I am my number one client, and in addition to my son, or just rando stuff I post on social media. My, you know, relatable area of expertise was being heavier. I was 302 pounds. Now, I can't speak to the whole realm of body positivity and you're healthy at all sizes. I can only tell you how I felt about myself physically, mentally, emotionally, even financially, because I was in the military when I was carrying that weight. And that could have impacted, me progressing on to later retire, which I did in 2018. So this is just some of the things that I've done and I will continue to do. Um, I will never get back to 302 pounds because I know what I need to do now, and I just plan on sticking to that. One is track what you eat. And I know when you tell people track what you're eating, the first thing a lot of people are gonna say is, "Man, it's just time consuming. That takes a lot." The easiest way that I can put it is, would you buy a car, a truck, or motorcycle, whatever your means of transportation is, and it doesn't have a gas gauge? You won't know what you're putting in in your car, your truck, your motorcycle, if you can't even gauge the gas, because you might stall out somewhere and run out of gas. And the issue is we're not even paying attention to the simplest things. We will go somewhere, we're on our health is wealth day one journey, and we will go into a store and we will buy like a bottle or some type of juice, and it'll say 100 calories on the front, and you think you tracking that. You didn't spin it around to the back to see that there's 4 servings of those 100 calories. That's 400 calories that you're drinking in those sugary juices, and we don't even pay attention to that. And then we're looking at the trends and we're doing our 10K steps, and the average person is probably burning 200 to 400 calories on that 2K step. You didn't drink that. So start tracking what you eating. This second one leads into the first one. Fellas, ladies, get your body weight in protein. And if you're overweight, if you're like 230, 240, 250, and you want to get down to 200, make 200 grams your goal. We're not tracking our food, so we don't know. And the people that I talk to, they don't track it. I'm just telling you, hey man, how many grams of protein are you getting in? It's deer in headlights. Just because you drink a protein shake on Tuesday, it's now Friday, you missing the mark. So get your body weight in protein. Another thing that I do, I stopped drinking 15 years ago. I'm not telling you if you should drink or not. I'm just telling you, for me personally, it did not align with my fitness goals. The protein synthesis, the breakdown, dehydration. This was me after a year of being sober. I stopped drinking in 2011 when I found out my son was about to be born, and I stopped drinking for a whole year. And you can tell by my facial features, I was more aged, I was dehydrated. You can even see how open my pores were. So think about that. I will never drink again. And that's something that, I just I just can't do anymore. Another one is stick to something. Stick to a workout regimen. I see it on social media, or I'm off of social media, but I used to see it on social media all the time, to where the CrossFit people are dogging the bodybuilders. The bodybuilders are dogging the powerlifters, and they got to compete. And the bodybuilder versus the powerlifter, and the powerlifter versus you. Pick something and stick to it. I'm hearing like, High Rocks. I seen the YouTube, High Rocks sucks, and here's why. Pick something and stick to it. Something that might work for you. I do CrossFit movements in my back workout. I'm doing muscle ups because it helps me. And it's just, I still am impressed by myself to be able to do a muscle up at 46 years old. Pick something and stick to it. Another one is don't let people peer pressure you because it will happen. You will have people that will peer pressure you. Now, this is only from personal experience. When I was bigger, I still used to lift weights, but I wasn't really in the routine like that at that time. I'll be honest. My life was on a downward slope, but I didn't want to be around you if you was fit. I wanted to be the lifter. I know people that's like that. They hang around a bunch of people to where in that circle, they're the better version. They might be big, but they ain't the biggest. And I was able to tell myself that. So I hung around with other big people, but amongst all the big cats I was hanging around, I was the fittest. So I was the one, right? And if you came around us, and you was lean, and you ate right, I didn't want you around me. So I would try to play you. I would have some shade, man. You look like you getting small, right? And I knew they would do it too because we all felt the same way. We were like-minded. It was a cage instead of a circle of influence and inspiration. So don't be, don't subdue the peer pressure, man. I can tell you from personal experience, a lot of people don't want to see you progress because they haven't progressed. And they know that it requires change. And in most cases, change is something you're going to have to give up anyway that you probably didn't need in the first place. So that's a big one. Now, this is kind of a twofer. Start now and take ownership for your bad habits. I say start now because I'll be 47 in October. I'll say that until I'm blue in the face because I'm older. But, if you start now in your 20s or your 30s, it'll be an easy transition to where, for whatever reason, you got to tighten up. Now, I'm just so dialed in on what I'm doing that it's just normal. It becomes habit to where if I feel that I'm going a little bit off the rails, I'm going to tighten back up. But it's easy to kind of bounce back. Being 46, sarcopenia, you losing 1% of muscle every year after 35. I don't know if y'all know that. But it's easy for me to tighten up. Let me lift my protein. I'm lower carb by preference. Let me go lower carb, right? Because it helps with my inflammation. Let me go into a deeper deficit. It's easier to do those things when you got some skin in the game. And then take ownership. You see all over, everywhere, if somebody loses 10 pounds, they want you to clap for them. But nobody takes ownership who gained the 50 pounds. You still got 40 to go. But we'll lose the 10, validation comes in and gets involved, and next thing you know, you're rewarding yourself. I did that to myself in the military. I would finagle my fitness score. I would go to the person that was putting my fitness score in the system. We had to take our Navy fitness test, and then I would reward myself. I ain't do nothing. All I did was have this person lie about a score for me. So start now and take ownership. Now, this is something I used to say all over social media, all over TikTok, all over InstaWeb, all over FaceGram. Everybody won't support your fitness journey. And you will quickly go from being inspiring, if you're relatable, to when you stay on that consistent path, they're going to say you showing off. I always used to say, man, consistency is just like a song. Everybody's singing that song and they know the lyrics until they keep saying it, because if they fall off or they go through some hard times, they want you to as well. So you instantly go to showing off. But you got to tell yourself, you got to think about your family. Tell yourself, man, hey, I said I'm going to do this. I'm going to stick with it. And then you just go over everything. Like I review every circumstance in life to where I struggled the most. And I said, I never want to go back to that. I never want to go back to alcoholism. I never want to go back to obesity, being 300 pounds. And that was it. Now, I wish I could come on social media and tell you that I made this drastic change to lose 100 pounds. It wasn't like that. I was forced to. I was going to Afghanistan at 302, and I had a kidney stone out there, and I passed a kidney stone in an Afghan bathroom. That's the reason I said, man, nah, because the medic that was there when that happened said, man, you keep this up, it's going to happen again, and I wouldn't wish that on nobody. So when I got home, I just kept doing what I was doing out there to lose the weight. I was waking up, running in the morning, started ultimately lifting in the morning, started working on my diet. But the best thing I had ever did, and the toughest thing I had ever did, was I stopped drinking alcohol. I put that bottle down. And once I did that, I have an addictive personality. So that void with that alcohol and that crap eating and the procrastinating, I start feeling that with just learning more about fitness, getting my certs, going to college, getting my garage gym. It's up to you. And I know it's a lot of noise out here, but because there's so much noise and our patience, man, that's why I got off of social media because my attention span, we don't even pay attention to the information that's out there. My girl be listening to these podcasts. It's just like knowledge about red light therapy and why some people go low carb. And it's just great information. And now my attention span just allows me to listen to it. And it helps me learn more about myself. So I know that I have the credentials. I even got the space. I got a complete gym. But it was just people. That's why I really don't train people online or physically, man, because sometimes people want you to bend to their habits and their time. And as a full-time employee working where I work and a father, it don't work like that. So I'm somebody that I just give out free information on the interweb. You can use it. You don't have to use it. But just know that there's a way. I'm somebody that was in a body that it was just tough for me. It was some dark times. It was self-esteem issues. I'm tugging on the bottom of my shirt all the time. Now you can't spot me with a shirt on.